Santa Tell Me Review: Unwrapping a Holiday Romance Miracle. Decoding the Magical Mathematics of Romantic Destiny. Holiday love comedies like Santa Tell Me are fun and silly. This one is no exception. It combines Christmas magic, romance, and a bit of playful fate, giving the movie a different take on the typical holiday love story. Erin Krakow plays Olivia Spencer, an ambitious interior designer who wants to start her TV show. As a child, Olivia wished to know the name of her real love. This wish sets the stage for Olivia's journey. After 25 years, that seemingly forgotten wish from childhood comes back to life in the strangest way. A special letter she writes to herself tells her that her soulmate's name is Nick, which starts a funny and touching search for love. Olivia meets three good-looking men named Nick at the same time: a pediatric neurosurgeon, a furniture store owner, and a firefighter. This makes the story more complicated. Each Nick has his personality and potential, making for a funny date game that keeps people guessing. At the same time, Chris Davis, who produces her Christmas home makeover show, is a surprise wild card in her love life. Olivia is figuring out these possible relationships while also working on a big TV project that could be the start of her career. Chris pushes and supports her every step as she renovates the house where she grew up. It becomes both a professional task and a personal journey of rediscovery. This movie has a very clever standard enemies to lovers plot, which includes magical interventions, meet-cute scenes, and magical interventions. Christmas Eve is the last chance Olivia has to find a true love, so she must decide if fate's plan fits with what she really wants. Romantic rhythms. Diving into the character landscape. Erin Krakow brings Olivia Spencer to life in a truly amazing way. She takes a character that could have been a standard lead in a romantic comedy and turns her into a complex and interesting person. Olivia is an ambitious interior designer with a playful heart. She approaches her search for love with a fun mix of doubt and openness. Krakow gives a realistic and magical performance. Her sincerity shines through every awkward date and surprising turn in the romance. It turns out that Chris Davis, played by Daniel Lissing, is the right contrast to Olivia's organized world. Chris starts out as an antagonistic director with a history in raunchy reality TV. Still, over time, he shows more depth and sensitivity. Their relationship goes from professional conflict to a real connection. Lissing does a great job showing how it goes from work conflict to romantic possibility. The three Nicks bring Olivia a hilarious parade of possible soulmates, each adding a different taste to her search for love. Nick A is a pediatric neurosurgeon whose background involves reindeer and medical missions and is almost too heroic to be true. His love moves often hilariously backfire, like when he hurt his eye on an ice skating date from drinking too much champagne. Nick B, a master carpenter and owner of a furniture shop who stands for stability and skill. Even though he feels a real bond with Olivia, they are incompatible. Nick C, the firefighter calendar model who is the stereotypical hot guy in a love comedy, charming but not very interesting. His dates with Olivia are more like funny mishaps than real love meetings. Jess Brown's Darcy is the right sisterly opposite, helpful, funny, and important to Olivia's romantic journey. She's both a friend and a source of humor, and she adds another warm layer to the story. The subtle way Russell Roberts plays a person who looks like Santa adds a touch of magical realism, blending supernatural action into the romantic comedy structure without any problems. His character makes it seem like love sometimes needs a little help from above. What makes these performances stand out is how much they care about the movie's fun tone. Each actor knows the rules of the genre and plays them with real energy, turning scenes that could be boring into ones that are fun to watch. Krakow and Lissing's chemistry really stands out. Their relationship feels natural, going from initial working tension to a real romantic connection on its own. Their acting turns what could have been a boring plot into a lovely and interesting story that celebrates love and personal growth. Destiny's Playbook, Love, Magic, and Modern Aspirations. In Santa Tell Me, magic and romance come together to create a story that questions common ideas about love and fate. Olivia's magical letter to herself is more than just a plot device. It's also a metaphor for her very structured work life and an invitation to embrace the unexpected. This story adds a current twist to the idea of love that was meant to be. Olivia doesn't just wait, she actively seeks out possible soulmates, changing the magical prophecy into a personal quest to learn more about herself. It's not so much about finding the right match but about getting to know herself better in her personal and professional life. The movie shows career and personal happiness dancing a careful tango. Olivia's dream of becoming an interior designer isn't just background noise, it's an important part of her character. For her, the Christmas home makeover show is more than just a chance to be on TV, it's a chance to change a room and her whole life. Chris turns out to be a very important part of this trip. At first, he seems like a professional problem. Still, later on, he becomes a helpful partner who sees Olivia's promise as both a worker and a romantic partner. Their relationship shows that a real partnership means supporting each other's goals instead of putting them down. Christmas magic is used to keep stories going, making impossible things seem charming and possible. The self-writing Santa letter, the magical appearance of 3 Nicks, and the horse-drawn carriage arriving at just the right time all point to a world where magic rules over logic. It's not so much about how well it makes sense as how it makes you feel. The magical elements have a deeper meaning. They test Olivia's doubts and encourage her to believe in things that aren't possible in her carefully managed work life. Each magical intervention is like a gentle push, pushing her to be open to new experiences and connections. In the end, Santa Tell Me isn't just about finding love. It's also about being open to being hurt, trusting paths we didn't expect, and thinking that magic might know better than our well-thought-out plans. Cupid's comedy reel, laughter meets love. Santa Tell Me transforms the typical love comedy into a place where funny accidents happen and people meet in unexpected ways. The 3 Nicks become the funniest group ever when they have increasingly ridiculous love encounters that would make even Cupid laugh out loud. Nick A., the child neurosurgeon, truly takes romantic comedies to a new level. His ice skating adventure while popping champagne becomes an instant classic of rom-com physical humor. It ends with a spectacular and somewhat painful fall into a medical misadventure. That scene shows how committed the movie is to both fun and heart. Olivia and Chris's relationship is tense in a way that reminds me of classic stories about people who are enemies who become lovers. At first, they were at odds with each other at work. Still, over time, they become friends with funny exchanges and unexpected times of vulnerability. Every argument turns into a dance of possible romance, with sly looks and loaded words creating a powerful pull. Physical comedy and romantic times go hand in hand. When Olivia meets the Nicks, she hilariously sends them falling into hospital beds. This makes her search for love a funny game of romantic roulette. Every meet-cute is stranger and funnier than the last, turning her search into a hilarious journey full of strange connections. The beauty of the movie lies in its ability to mix real emotional moments with hilarious ones. A magical self-writing Santa letter and a horse-drawn carriage at just the right time show that Santa Tell Me knows that love tastes best with a lot of fun. The movie makes a world where love is magical and incredibly funny by accepting how silly romantic relationships are. This is a world where fate has a wicked sense of humor, and romance is never quite what you expect. Whispering Wishes, Santa's supernatural screenplay. In Santa Tell Me, magic isn't just a plot device, it's a character with naughty traits. The letter she writes to herself becomes the best matchmaker ever, turning Olivia's childhood Christmas wish into a real-life love story. Olivia finds a magical letter in a forgotten vent in her childhood home. The letter magically appears and writes in front of Olivia and her sister Darcy. This isn't just a plot point, it's a magical wink from the universe that adds a bit of supernatural wonder to Olivia's carefully planned life. It's fun that the magical parts are somewhere between silly and believable. When things like horse-drawn carriages showing up just when you need them, strange glowing vents, and letters that write themselves happen, you must suspend your disbelief. But they are shown with such sincere charm that people can't help but believe in the magic. Olivia's trip turns into an interesting dance between doubt and magical help. Her professional realism is always at odds with these strange events that she can't explain, making for an interesting internal struggle. It doesn't seem like a chance that all 3 Nicks showed up simultaneously. It feels more like divine planning. The Christmas magic here does more than just look nice, it changes things. Olivia gets to know herself better with each strange event that tests her rigid ideas about love and fate. The magical letter turns into a mirror that shows her deepest, most vulnerable wishes. Santa Tell Me goes beyond being a typical love comedy by using magical realism. It becomes a fun look at fate, choice, and the amazing possibilities that can be found in everyday events. It whispers a sweet truth: love needs a little magical help every once in a while. Crafting Christmas magic, behind the scenes of enchantment. Santa Tell Me is a carefully planned holiday treat, and Ryan Landell's direction is the right mix of silly and serious. Because of how he writes, what might have been a typical love comedy becomes a charming story that moves between reality and magic. Landell's is amazingly good at keeping track of many storylines at once. There are a lot of funny situations that the 3 Nicks could get into, but instead, they turn into a well-choreographed love ballet. Each plot gets just the right amount of attention to feel important without losing Olivia's main journey. The script is funny and has a lot of complexity that I didn't expect. "Sometimes falling is the best part" by Nikkei is a memorable line that perfectly captures the movie's tone, part comedy and part honest emotional study. The conversation is both funny and honest, which keeps people laughing and paying attention. Thanks to the production design, the movie looks like a love letter to Christmas. Olivia's broken-down childhood home takes on a life of its own, a metaphorical blank canvas ready to be remade, just like Olivia's love life. The scenes where the characters change are magical because they combine useful design with emotional impact. The photography uses a warm, slightly saturated color scheme that shouts holiday magic without seeming too fake. Soft lighting and well-thought-out shots make even the most ordinary scenes feel magical. Sound design and music are very important in making the story more interesting. The music moves effortlessly between fun and romantic, adding surprising depth to the comedic moments and emotional beats. Each piece of music feels like a gentle push from the world, adding to the magical feel of the movie. The show stands out because it tries to be emotionally real. Even though there are magical elements and funny parts, the movie has a real heart. Landells and his team have made a world where love and magic are possible, and Christmas is more than just a season. It's a state of possibility. The result is a show that goes beyond its genre, giving viewers enjoyment and a brief glimpse into the amazing possibilities within everyday events. Heartstrings and twinkle lights, unwrapping holiday cinema magic. Santa Tell Me is more than just another holiday romantic comedy. It's a warm hug wrapped in holiday paper and tied with a bow of real feeling. The movie is more than just a story. It's an experience that will deeply connect with anyone who has ever thought about love, fate, and the magic of meeting people you wouldn't expect to. Regarding emotions, the movie hits a fine balance between funny and touching scenes. Olivia's story can be used as a guide for anyone who has ever felt stuck between personal and business goals. When she thinks about past relationships and dreams for the future, she is truly open and vulnerable, which turns what could be a formulaic story into something deeply relatable. Santa Tell Me stands out among Hallmark holiday movies because it is a pleasantly modern take on classic love stories. It follows the rules of the genre while also slightly going against them. For example, the characters are more complex, and magical realism is treated in a fun way. People who are supposed to enjoy it, mainly people who like sweet romantic comedies and holiday stories, will be completely charmed. For many, this movie becomes an annual habit, like a favorite holiday sweater. It's cozy, strange, and impossible to avoid. The movie is better because it's dedicated to happiness. The magical letter, the three Nicks, and the Christmas spirit that changes everything aren't just story devices. They are calls to believe in the impossible. Every scene has a sweet lesson. Love can be found anywhere, even in the most unlikely places. Ability to predict? Of course. Too many tropes? Without a doubt. These flaws could be weaknesses, but Santa Tell Me turns them into strengths by believing that good things can happen if you let them. This is what makes Christmas movies so magical. That's right. This movie is almost required viewing for anyone looking for a dose of holiday magic, romantic possibilities, and pure, unadulterated joy. Put down your doubts, grab a hot chocolate, and let the Christmas magic work its charm. Thanks for watching this video. Please hit the subscribe button for more update news.